All right, welcome back to the radio realm. Heard every Friday night here on Sonoma State's College Radio, ksunradio.com. And on the line right now, I got another broadcaster in the internet radio field. You've heard his name many times if you listen to Opie and Anthony, Ron and Fez on the Opie and Anthony channel. I got co-host of High Society Radio, Bronx Johnny. What's good, Johnny?
Hey, what's up, bud? How's everything, man?
It's doing good over here in Cali, but first let me just kick this off and talk about High Society Radio, the show that you do with Chris Pepper Hicks, Stanley, and Chris from Brooklyn. So how did you get your radio show? Just tell me about the origin of that.
Well, Hicks and me were interns for Ron and Fez, and we're just, hanging back, and we're like, yo, everybody else is doing a podcast. Want to try one? He's like, yeah, and he bought BK Crystal, and we just started doing them, man.
Yeah, and those come out, about every other week or so. So it's been a few years, right?
Yeah, we've been doing it for about, 5 or 6 years now and stuff. It's been a while.
Yeah, some pioneers over there. And if anyone wants to go listen to that, it's easily found on newtrashcity.com. That's newtrashcity.com. And also, you guys got a Twitter. It's HS Radio Show, at HS Radio Show on Twitter. So you weren't on the last episode, though. What was up with that? How come you were absent?
No, man. No radio bits here. I had a passing in the family, so I really wasn't up for it and stuff. So this is actually the first show I've done in a long time. So I'm happy to be on your show first off. So that's always good.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Johnny. My condolences go out to you, bud. Had a crazy hurricane. Hurricane Sandy came through. Just tell me, did you have any crazy stories about that?
Nah, man, just like out here, some downwires. A couple of my friends lost their houses, which was pretty sad and stuff. A couple of my friends lost their stash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Went floating by. But hopefully it landed in Central Park, and now we have beautiful herbal trees growing in Central Park and stuff.
Yeah, man,
that'd be nice.
Plenty of stashes, probably drug stashes and porn stashes be floating by, huh?
Yeah, man, it's pretty bad, especially if you bought Blu-ray porn. I don't know why people get it, but teach their own, I guess.
I know. Keep it digital. Let's keep it together, people. So you mentioned that you started out, you met Chris Stanley while you were an intern for the Ron and Fez show. So is there anything that you could, maybe tell me? Because I really look up to Ron Bennington. I see him as, the top dog when it comes to radio interviews, things like that. So could you tell me just a little bit about, his behind the scenes, what he's like?
Oh, man, Ronnie B's same guy you hear on the radio every day, man. He's just real that way. He's a good dude, hard-working guy. He knows the business in and out. Basically, Ronnie B's the kind of guy that has friends from, since he's been freaking 6 years old and stuff. That's the kind of dude he is. Solid guy, man.
Yeah, just really down to earth, and he always just seems to ask them interesting questions that you don't hear, because so many interviews you hear the same people being interviewed over and over again, and it's just nice to get the fresh take whenever Ronnie B has his unmasked segments with comedians and stuff. So that's all. Do you currently listen still every single day?
Yeah, well, not every day, but when I get a chance, satellite radio is hard to come by now. You can't easily pirate satellite radio as you used to, but when I can, I put on Ronnie B and Fezzy, and I still listen to O&A, still good times, when I can. Try to catch up with those guys. It's good stuff.
Yeah, you've been on a couple of O&A segments. You had the weigh-in. I checked that out on video on YouTube. Anything you remember about that whole segment where everyone was in there losing weight? And did you win that? Did you win that competition?
Nah, man. Well, they didn't tell me the competition was over, so I just kept gaining weight over the years and stuff. So that didn't work out too well for me. But yeah, man. I remember I was pretty stoned during that segment. That was Bronx Johnny College years. It was getting pretty high back then. It was good times, man.
Yeah. So talk to me. Did you hear about that the subway shit that went down? The dude that got pushed in front of the subway car?
Oh yeah, the guy in Times Square. I read that the other day. It's fucked up. It happened, but it looks kind of funny and shit at the same time,
Yeah, that.
That's New York for you. I'm pretty sure most urban areas, wherever he was at. Times Square's not really urban, but it's a subway, so it's just like you're underground. Underground shit's gonna happen, you know? He's out there, the poor guy was minding his business, whatever. Guy went in front of him. He's like, motherfucker this. And the other guy was like, hey, man, I don't want any problems. And he's like, well, you got a problem. Just shoved him in front of a train. I guess that's how he felt like he needed to handle this shit. I guess that's how some people get down, man. I don't know.
Yeah, what's the craziest shit that you've seen on the rails?
Oh man, fuck! I've been living in New York most of my life, basically. So you see a little bit. I've seen people like have sex coming back from a Mets game and stuff. I've seen people get like shoot up. You see all kinds of shit in New York. It's basically like in Cali, you guys have mass trans. You must see crazy shit on mass trans out there, right?
Yeah. Whenever there is some crazy story, it's usually the bus or from the BART. Our subway is called BART up here, so yeah, it gets pretty wild too. Yeah, mass transit's fucking nuts. It just seems because you got all the mix of all the street people mixed in with all like the hard-working folks. It's just all in one little sardine can. So some shit's bound to happen at some point, right?
Oh no, yeah, and at least your guys are armed, right? BART officers are armed, right?
Yeah. They actually they smoked some dude who was just trying to get up. It was a couple years ago. Oscar Grant, I think his name is. It was
yeah, I remember that. I heard about that one.
Yeah, they gunned the dude down. He was just like loitering or something, and then the cop thought he was reaching, and then just gunned him down.
You guys really don't fuck around with the panhandlers and shit out there. Oh damn, hard shit, man.
But they definitely caught a lot of heat for it though. At the same time,
Yeah, no, I heard about it down here. It's pretty bad, man. Like, I was like, shit.
Yeah, dude, so you mentioned you're from New York, grew up in New York basically your whole life, but I know from being, your friend with you on Facebook that you're a big Chicago Bears fan. So how did that come about?
Most teams I'm a fan of. First team I ever saw growing up as a kid. So I had to be about, 92? I had to be about, 12 or some shit. I was watching, not even 12. I was, 6 or 7. I was fucking watching. I remember Peyton was still on the Bears, I believe. Was it Peyton? I remember they scored a touchdown. I was like, who's that? It was like the Bears. I'm like, I like the Bears.
Right.
And I just became. And then Saturday Night Live had the skits and shit, so it got me into it.
Yeah, and they're always in WWF and shit too. Are you into that?
Oh yeah, man, I love that shit, dude. I'm a big wrestling fan. That's why, when you intern for Ron and Fez, Ron and Fez from Florida have great wrestling stories, dude.
Yeah.
One inside one I'll tell you real quick is Fezzy and Ron knew the guys from the Bushwhackers. And I don't remember if it was them or some other wrestling dudes that had, they were running a restaurant. It wasn't like a wrestling themed restaurant, but all the guys would come by and shit during shows in Florida. So they'd hang out and one of the guys threw some shit at the Stone Cold. And back then Stone Cold wasn't Stone Cold. He was just Stunning Steve or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
So, he got mad and shit, but he didn't do anything. They just kept calling him a pussy and shit and all that. So, he grew into it, I guess. I don't know, dude.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, you would think, Stone Cold's a badass motherfucker, but back then he was just a shy dude. And fucking go figure, huh?